Live pictures belong to you here at Monza. You join us at our season opening round here in ACSL. It is great to have your company. You are witnessing the final moment of practice, and we are really excited to get this party started. A new season is upon us. Loads of test races, back to back here on Saturdays. But now this is where the season begins. Talking about back to back, we're going to be going back to back with a Renault Clio Cup car, and not only that, we're going to be using it for the entire season. We cannot wait to see what this machine can produce us with. After loads of different cars were tested, some slower, some faster, the decision was made to use this type of machine as it was better suited to the driving talent that we currently have in this league, to some of the new drivers, to the experienced ones. It was the best overall package to ensure that we have a good race, we have close racing, and most importantly we also have clean racing as well. Now, when I do say clean, we cannot guarantee that it will be fully clean, because I mean, even last time we did see some driving which resulted in contact, especially at the start of the race, and then it started to calm down a bit. You're gonna get that, especially around a circuit like this. We go to the Temple of Speed to kick off our season. So we are still in it. We are still in Italy basically, but we've gone to Monza, a stable on the a circuit that's always been on the Formula 1 calendar as well for a long time, and we've also added it to our calendar. Talk about the calendar, we've had loads of changes as well to it. Now, first of all, we didn't bring you any information last week because we didn't have it on our calendar. However, we have got a full calendar that was announced earlier this week. We had a calendar which had 8 races, first of all, and then we had 2 of them dropped, and it means that in the end of it, we have a 6-race calendar in total. And that 6-race calendar is, of course, round 1 being here at Monza. We go to Hockenheim. Next week. Really looking forward to that. Hockenheim, a circuit which everyone wants back on the Formula 1 calendar. And then we go to Kyalami for the 3rd round on the 8th of February. Laguna Seca is your host for round 4. Really looking forward to that one as well. Interlagos is round 5. Another fan favourite. And then we end the season where we raced last week at Imola. So the drivers who did compete in that would have some extra experience of racing, and we'll get to know who could possibly be quick. But the man who was quick last time, quick once again. The practice session is over. It is done and dusted. So these are your final results that you can currently see on screen. But it is the new season energy that we currently find ourselves with. And that is what we absolutely love. When you go into a new season and you have no clue what is going to happen at all. You can see we've got plenty of newcomers in the field as well. Dantis Papen and Marjo are definitely not one of them. And Dantis Papen with a 5.5 tenth advantage. If we look at the final classifications of this session, Goose about to come over the line as well. So it's Dantis Papen currently at the front of the field by very nearly 6 tenths. Mardu in second, as we mentioned, and then we have Maynayerts in 3rd position. Apologies if I do get any names wrong, but that's how he ended off. So that's Kobe Maynayerts in 3rd position. Rai is in 4th, Gamer Goose in 5th, and then Marcos ahead of Kenu, and then Brandon Bartop. We have Maxim Chat, Anis Ben, as we take you to 2nd page as well, where we find ourselves with the next driver being Eskista, and then Sam Kelly, myself, who you will not be seeing. And then drivers who didn't really set times but will be with us include Billy Noble, Adam, who we've had a couple of times. He'll be who we've had a couple of times in the test races. I think that's worth mentioning. This is your season opener, and then you're going to have Dario Rovers, Ronnie, Ronton, and then Jaden as well, Nathan Sweeney, and you can see some of the other names as well. As the drivers get going with their what is supposed to be qualifying. Yeah, well, it's supposed to be qualifying. It says 40 minutes upon us in terms of practice. So there we go. There we go. Back to what we expected. Back to what we expected. Momentarily thought that I'd have to be sitting here talking through a 45-minute practice session. No, don't worry. Don't worry. We weren't going to keep you waiting. Instead, we have cars flying onto the circuit. No time wasted at all. They want to get on with it. And I think we want to get the season opener underway as soon as possible. I'm in a very busy schedule. There's loads of drivers. Experiment through the runoff. Testing it out. Don't know if they want to go do that in the race though. Oh, opening session vibes out there for these drivers. But yes, what I was going to say was, very interesting schedule I've got in terms of the Rolex 24 hours is taking place as well. So I'm in and out of that broadcast with me doing more Assetto Corsa tomorrow for another championship. But yes, loads of Assetto Corsa. Looking forward to this one, of course, with it being the season opener. But yes, one of the biggest races, also one in real life. And also, can I just say quickly, I think it would be wrong not to mention, I want to say congratulations to these drivers, because I know they usually get a lot of critique for their driving skill and how they just cause chaos all the time. But can I just say, the Mazda Cup race that they had a few weeks ago in the test race, can I just say, it wasn't the most chaotic one, because in real life, if anyone hasn't seen, they had the biggest pile-up in the world. The first biggie, they called it, of Daytona. So, yes, I think it is worth mentioning. Congratulations to every single driver who participated in the MX-5 Cup race, because you were actually cleaner than the real-life drivers when it came to that. Especially at the start, I have to say. So, well done. Well done. So I think it's worth mentioning, while these drivers get all of the critique around not being able to keep it on the road or hitting each other out constantly, which they are going to do more of it, I'm sure, throughout this season, but hopefully it will be limited. But yes, I think that was just worth mentioning and putting it out there. That well done, guys. You kept it cleaner than the real professional drivers in real life. But anyway, that's enough about real life. That's enough about the Mazda MX-5 Cup, because we've got the Renault Clio Cup out there. And that means that we have got also 12 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock to go. And we've got laps at the limit, starting off with Dante Spapen going for the move at the end. All the way at the end as my timing board updates with everyone cutting the beam to begin the lap. But Dante Spapen, the driver who had to go for the most outrageous move at the end to try and win that race, which in the end he did win it. But that was a very chaotic finish as well. More backmarker chaos. I think we can say we're not going to be getting any more of that. The drivers once again got a bit of a briefing today. Those briefings just to make sure that they can actually follow certain instructions. Let us know in the live chat who you're supporting and your thoughts ahead of the opening round. It is always exciting. It's always unpredictable. But we know who's quick in this machinery from the data that we had last time. And with the practice session that we saw the results of, and I think it's very clear that the man in your picture is going to take some beating by the other 16 drivers in this field as of yet, right now. Of course, more drivers could definitely be coming in this qualifying if they have been, if they're slightly a minute or two late. Throwing it down to Ascari. Ascari time for Dante Spapen as he makes his way through. Oh yeah, I also found out someone enjoys me saying that name. So, there you go. I don't know how much you'll hear of it. If he's not battling with people, I don't know how much you'll hear of it, though, today. But, in qualifying, I think he will definitely be getting lots of attention in terms of topping this timing page by the end of it. Who knows? Special livery on the car, as do quite a few drivers, we do have to say. Also have to apologise for the camera angle you'll get out of Ascari all the way to the Parabolica now, the Curva Michele Alboreto. But just one thing, I will still call it the Parabolica. I'm not following the rulebook here. I'm still across Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3, all of those sessions. I still call it the Parabolica. And even when I listen to the real life commentators, half of them still call it the Parabolica. So that is what we're gonna stick with, of course. So we're gonna stick with that. Just before anyone says I haven't done my research and I haven't, well, I'm not aware of that change, but that has happened for a while. But yes, what I was gonna, but let me get back to the point. And that is, the camera angles around Monza aren't the best. Let me just say. You've only got one TV cam available, so one preset, and you have 3 different types you can do in it. So the third one works the best for the entire circuit. Let's just say the third one works the best for the entire circuit, but also is very wobbly and it's shaking around every time they make their way towards the Parabolica. So that is incredibly annoying, but I guess I'd prefer better coverage throughout the rest of the circuit rather than just sacrifice it for one straight. So yes. However, I will probably get incredibly mad if there's a last lap battle and we could see a move. Leonardo Fornaroli style. Someone sending it to the inside for the lead. Not for the championship yet, let me just say. Not for the championship, it's still round 1. But for the race, if someone does send it in for a late move, then I would be pretty annoyed if it gets ruined and all of the clips taken at the end of the race are ruined by this wobbly camera that cannot stop shaking. It's like we put it on the car as well. Did I see Dries Rantol's pole lap? Yes, I did. But yes, the Rolex is going on right now, and well, I think it is worth mentioning. I think it's I'm slightly disappointed to miss the start, but if this is on, it's fine. Only little excuse I can have. But also I got to listen to commentary of the race start. I got to listen and hear commentary of the race start. All I heard, there was a spinning car. That's it. But yes, I'll be going back and shouting at that later on. Right now though, we'll see how much shouting I get to do. Mardu closing the gap in. Ronnie, right, okay, someone wants me to say Ronnie run time, I think. Yes. Not the best with names, so... Oh, off the road goes Jaden, currently in 7th position. He was incredibly furious last week. Related to, well, having seen a chance go when they were having a drag race to the line due to one of the back markers who, I can tell you, Jacob Ashcroft, has been banned for the league. So that's a clear message. I think that's a clear message. That is a clear message to every single driver that is not tolerated. Absolutely not tolerated, that type of driving. And I think it's a perfect way to set a message for anyone participating. It was done in the test race. Remember, these drivers have had reviews about their driving. That was done after the Legends Ford race. They've had reviews. They've had every POV checked of theirs from that race. Of course, some are new, so they didn't get that, but loads have. And yeah, I think that was the interesting bit, where they've had loads of reviews, they've had lots go on, so they are aware. And of course, they've seen a driver get banned for some driving that we do not tolerate at all. So I think that sets enough of a message. Apparently Kimi Antonelli's won the Italian Grand Prix. Well, that might be later on this year. Who knows? Who knows? Well, I mean, as someone who's followed him throughout FECA and all of the other championships, even Italian F4, he is definitely a talented driver, even if some of Prama's struggles this year may not have shown that. And all of the F2 situation that's been happening this year. But also, as we're talking about Kimi Antonelli, before I get back to this, because, you know, I do need to commentate on this. I'm loving the chat participation, but I do kind of need to commentate on this, as Margie has gone quickest. So we'll actually keep watching Dantis Papen to see whether we can take it back. But yes, another driver to keep an eye on for the future is Freddie Slater. He'll be in FECA this year, and he's also in GB3, which I'm commentating on those 2 championships, so I'm a bit like, oh, I get to have him twice. So that's quite interesting. So he'll be in selected rounds of that. So he's another driver to keep an eye on for the future. Just to put another name out there that you probably didn't need yet. Who knows? I mean, if Antonelli goes well this year in Formula 1, I wouldn't be surprised if Freddie Slater jumped straight to Formula 3. Sorry, no, not Formula 2. He should be jumping to Formula 3 next year, but possibly the skipping, if it works for Antonelli. If it doesn't work for Antonelli, then I think they'll do it the traditional way. They don't want to waste another talent. Slater's not backed by an academy yet, but I think that's very much going to change very shortly. Back to this. Mardu's at the front of the field. He is ahead of Dantis Papen, who will surely want to try and take it back. So that will be his goal as he makes his way towards the Oscari chicane in that custom livery, as I've already mentioned. One of few drivers who are running down. He's backed out of the lap. He's backed out of the lap. You've got Wright in third position. Goose and P4 close in the battle for third and fourth, but they are miles off the top two at this stage, so we could possibly have a two-horse race at the front, and then everyone else battling for that podium position. You're going to have loads of packs forming throughout this, as we take a look at Ben making his way down towards the Rettifilio chicane. Marcos is in 9th position. Kelly's had a moment on the circuit, and here he is. Oh, well, had he not had that option to teleport to the pit lane, I think he might have got stuck there. So, interesting stuff. Mardu to the line then, and he is going to cut the beam as he goes on to another flying lap. Dantis Papen right in the pit lane right now. He's leaving the pit lane. Goose, and then Nayert's in 5th. Bartop, Billy Noble, Ben, Marcos, and then Jaden right now your top 10. Kenu's in 11th, and then we have Eskista, Kelly, Maxine Chat, Adam, and then we also have Rontan, Rovers, and Nathan Sweeney in 18th position. Some of these names different to what you would have seen earlier on in the championship, in the test races. Of course, Nathan Sweeney being NATO, just to make that little point for any of our returning viewers who may not be aware of that change. That's a lap for Warrington that gets him to 12th position. So that's a lap that will move himself up. I'm sure you'll still want to go further up. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Still to go in this session. So we're getting to the business end. Do let us know your predictions for who is going to take pole position then. Dantis Papen will definitely be a driver to watch. You've got loads of cars. You've got plenty of cars out there on the circuit at this stage. And it means that we find ourselves heading down to the Ascari chicane with Dantis Papen trying to push on in the number 59 all over the road. All over the road. And that is going to be a moment for one turn then, as he goes round. And I think we were being asked to look at his lap time, as Maxime Chat also has that moment. Dantis Papen was all over the road. But yes, we're going to try bring you as much as laps as possible, because these are going to be the laps that will set our grid for the opening race of the season out of the Parabolica now. Red Bull sponsoring. To the side, to the back. Now, let's see whether he can try get up there. We have Menayert's in 3rd. Rai is about to come across the line. Let's see whether he can get himself up close, or he might just be about to go for his final push as well. So that's coming your way. Billy Noble's in the pit lane, and we'll look to see which driver is looking in contention then. So, you are going to find yourself with Ronton coming over the line very shortly, and these drivers will have time to start another flying lap. More drivers teleporting them their way into the pit lane. They could pretty much be done. Keep your eye on Dantis Papen trying to take pole position. It's exactly what he did last time, where he found a late lap to get himself up there. Could he try and repeat the same trick again? This time, well, we're still in Italy, but this time for the opening round And when it matters, Mardu, when it matters, is off the road. And I think that is right before Lismo 1. So he's through the chicane. And that would be right before Lismo 1. It is before Lismo 1. So, loads of drivers about to come over the line in a few moments. Bartosz is off the road. But as I mentioned, loads of drivers about to come over the line. The checkered flag is flying here at the end of qualifying in round 1 of the season. Who can find the time? Who can find the improvement at the end? So, over the line, we are going to go with Jaden. He's going to be in 11th position. Dantis Papen is about to make his way. No, he's not going to be able to make his way to pole position or a chance even of pole position because he is slowing down on the run towards the Parabolica. Here is Nathan Sweeney as he comes towards that Parabolica. And he is going to be a driver who will be hoping to get himself up. He's currently in 18th position. And he will be looking to try and get a lap time on the board. But he was blocked. He was blocked. Was that by the driver in 3rd position of Maynard? Is my question. It was. We'll look back to Nathan Sweeney to see whether he's still able to salvage something out of this lap up towards the line. Mardu is on pole position as it stands. Sweeney comes over the line and is about to cut the beam in a few moments. And we'll see whether he's able to do anything then. He is going to be in 18th position still. So we're just looking to see. You've got plenty of drivers still making their way through. I don't think anyone's doing anything right now to upset the order. So there we go. Don't think we're getting anyone who's going to upset the order. And Dantis Papen, who said earlier that, you know, we could get a battle of a second. He's going to probably have a pace advantage, which to be honest, he is pretty quick. But so is Mardu. These two had a brilliant battle in the Legends Ford race. And even last time out, really. Looking to do more of the same in our opening round. And they will most likely be the drivers that will lead us away. Unless someone can shock us all at the end. Which will not be happening. How about that? How about that? So, Brandon just reminding me in chat. Absolutely. Usually I'd say in commentary we just do go with last names anyway. But yes, if I'm saying a full name then usually like to, well, keep them. And I have my live timings open so I can, I'm also able to just quickly keep an eye and see that as well. But this is where the chaos is about to begin, guys. This is when nerves will be high, pressure will be on, as the new season is upon us. The test races have come to a close. We'll still have fun races, we'll still have wacky circuits with wacky cars and all sorts going on, but championship points are recorded. There's me into the pit lane. I will not be in this race for quite obvious reasons, as we try to find you the best camera angle to show you our new season getting underway. Keep an eye on the driver in second place, Dantis Papen. Can he try and make the move? We are currently ticking down the seconds, and the 6 lights are about to be lit. Tensed moments. After all of this preparation, we look forward to 6 amazing rounds. It all starts here at the Temple of Speed. The brand new season of ACSL is 6 lights away. And for ACSL, it's race on! The new season begins right here as they move away from the line and we do battle towards turn number 1. It's a good launch off the line for Dantis Papen, putting the pressure on Mardu. Can he try and make this move as we battle up towards the first turn? Who is going to have the position? They are super late on the brakes. Do they all make their way through? It is going to be Dantis Papen who has the lead. Mardu's in second place. Contact as Mardu gets tagged. Mardu is hit. It is a chaotic start to the championship. Cars left, Car's right, and it is absolutely wild stuff at this stage. Can they all get through? Car off in the background. Car off in the background was Goose, I believe. It is Dandis for Penn with a 2-second advantage. Then it's Ben who's powered his way up to second position as they try and navigate their way through into the second chicane on this circuit. Wild start, absolutely wild start. Not the best camera angles to show you all the chaos. Jaden's in 6th, could be in 5th. He's wheel to wheel right now at this stage with Mardu. He's prepared to go the long way around. This is hyper aggressive stuff in this championship opener, and it's going to be the position gained, and Mardu will be ahead. Jaden will try fight back. Goodness me, is it all wild? Adams off the road, Adams off the road as we do battle down towards the Ascari chicane. Well, we knew it was going to be aggressive in this season opener. It's absolutely delivering. Here we go, down to the Ascari chicane. Who's going to be in front? His battle for 5th continues to go on, and trying to go all the way around the outside. That will be super brave. Does it open the door for Ken, who's trying to get past both of them? This is unbelievable stuff. They are sprayed all over the road like it's the final lap of the championship, and Jaden, looking at 5th, drops down to 7th as we are 3 wide and very nearly 4 wide as well. We are 4 wide. This is unbelievable stuff as there's a car spinning round in the background. Adam is out of the race. 4 wide down to Parabolic. It was never going to work, and they make contact. Jaden spins off the road, and that was always going to end that way. 4 wide did not work, and I think there was further contact. Round goes to Marcos as well. And well, whatever machinery you put these guys in, it is turning into chaos and cars everywhere, and we're very nearly going 3 wide once again. You've got a battle going on in front, so we've got a battle for the podium position, the final spot on the podium at this stage. That's right, trying to get past as well. And this part of the circuit last time around was very chaotic. It's chaotic once again. Over the road will go May Nyertz, and Rye's gonna drop down to 4th. Jaden's trying to get past Billy Nobles. These two had a battle yesterday, and they're all cutting the road. They're making the first chicane optional. That's what they're doing at this stage as they do this hyper-aggressive battling right now. Maxime Chad is ahead of Brandon Bartop, who's in 8th position, and still they are so close to the Curva Grande. This race explodes into fireworks in the opening minutes. It's always the opening minutes in this championship. Jaden is... How did he get that one slowed down? I thought he was going to go off the road. He gets past Billy Noble. I think Billy Noble must have been so cautious in the brakes, because that looked like Jaden had just completely missed his braking point. Off the road goes Maxine Chat. We've got Sweeney, and there's a spin. There's a spin in the background. That will be super tight when they all rejoin, and Jaden's going to improve a couple of places. Jaden improves a couple of places. Bartop, and I think that's Billy Noble who's been tagged round. So Brandon Bartop and Billy Noble come together, and round goes Billy Noble as the rest of them all fly through. We're still battling for the final spot on the podium right now. May Nyertz trying to defend, and he will defend. He stays ahead right now of Rye, who's in 4th place, and Jaden, does he try go on the defense? Oh my word, they're all just sending late lunges at this stage. Caution is thrown to the wind. Well, the test races, nothing is as chaotic as this. Goodness me, we thought the test races would teach them how to be a bit more patient when they know the championship is on the line, when they know that all of these races are now recorded in terms of points. Absolutely not. They are going wild. They are overtaking. They are sending late lunges at every opportunity, and it's resulting in so much contact. It's resulting in a total brawl at this stage. Marcos to the inside. He's trying to get past Rovers, and that's more contact. That's more contact in the battle for 11th position. And there will be an opportunity 3 wide, very nearly coming up again. Goodness me. Are these drivers having the biggest nightmare? Well, we're getting a good battle with 3rd. That's Mayonnaise still battling with Rye. They go door to door. They make contact. And round goes Mayonnaise to drop down to 5th position. And moving up is our pulsator Marju, who goes to 4th as he tries to make a comeback in this race. We have Ron Tyrone making his way through. That will be tight stuff between himself and Rovers, and that will be even later on the brakes by Marcos, and off the road will go Rovers as Mayonnaise gets back past Marju. They are going to be side by side through the Cara Grande, who is going to be ahead in this battle when they hit the anchors. In a few moments time, there's a mistake. Dantis Papen goes off the road, and you've got cars everywhere trying to avoid him. Mayonertz goes through, Marju goes through. Spapen could be down all the way to possibly 6th position, having held the lead after another moment, and that will be the opportunity. Kenny will move up as I try to get my words out in what is just completely bonkers stuff at this stage. Well, we're used to races be exploding at the start and then calming down near the end. I don't know if this one will calm down. With the way the drivers are going at it, it is send lunges wherever there is an opportunity. To be fair, even when there's not an opportunity, they all just want to overtake, and they're literally making contact as they go down the straight. So, 2 moves going on here. Plenty of races in the mix, and that's a late lunge. First of all, so Mayonertz first of all stays ahead. He's in 3rd. Kenu still is in 5th as he defends. Spapen's trying to go all over the road, trying to darting to the left, darting to the right, waiting for the opportunity to open up, but he's still behind. Keep an eye on that SBD liveried machine to try and make his way past and through. He'll get the opportunity when we head down towards the Parabolica, trying to go the long way around. That is a risky move to attempt, but he could try to do the up and under, he could try to do the switchback, or he could try use the momentum to get on the power and go all the way around the outside. That is the question that we await to be answered. They will have a drag race now down towards the Retifilio chicane. This is the highest battle right now that is currently this close. You've got another battle for 12th. You've got Vontian dropping down, and still we bang wheels. This could be a day really where the coolest heads prevail. I think that's going to be the main thing. The coolest heads will prevail this day, and if you are throwing late lunges, and if you are getting so close to a point where you're making contact, that could be, well, your race is coming to a close, and you finding yourself spinning out of the contest as Danis Papen does move up to 5th. But those two were so close together. There is moves everywhere right now. So, well, I think this is the first moment where we can actually take a deep breath. Never mind. I was about to take a sip of my drink right now. Never mind. We're going side by side. Oh no, Marju spins around Dantis Papen style as he loses the car. Disappointment for the 2 drivers on the front row. They are not having the race that they expected as we go side by side. Are they going to make the corner this time around? And there's going to be another car round. That's Marcos who goes round. These guys did all make the corner, and it is going to be, so you have Eskister in 10th, Rovers in 11th, and then Roynton in 12th position. Roynton getting a good view of this as these two just battle outrageously at this stage. And off the road, that's going to be very slow momentum. So Rovers moves up to 10th as Eskister drops down to 12th, and Roynton moves up to 11th. And having run wide was always not going to give him the momentum that he would have wanted. So you've got Jaden ahead of Nathan Sweeney. This battle continues, so that's Eskister defending as Rovers spins around in the background. He'll wait to rejoin the road. That's a late launch to the inside, and moving up, going wide off the road, and smoke out of the back. I did tell you this last time that you should expect smoke out of the back of these Renault Clio Cup cars when they're racing at such high speed, when they are pushing them to a different level really with how aggressively they will all be driving. So Jaden stays in 6th. That was that battle. Marju tries to recover back after his few spins and contacts that he's had today. He's to the inside. He is to the inside as we make our way through. Or the outside I should rather say. As Marju will make his way through. It was Kelly on the inside. It was Kelly who didn't make the corner, who gained a bit of an advantage. So let's hope he gives some of the time back as well. As we are side by side, back in the battle for 10th, which is turning into the biggest brawl that we've ever seen, really. That's a word I'm using a lot today, to be fair. I'm having to say brawl a lot. That's the first time I've ever said that this year. And I'm only saying that in terms of, because I've covered, I'd say, a decent amount of races this year so far. But it's the first time I've got that word out. So, we have a battle for 8th position. As off the road will go Mardu. And that's Eskista in 14th, who's going to also have a spin. Kelly is side by side with Nathan Sweeney. And Nathan Sweeney is going to try his absolute best to defend. He can't do it. He's lost the position. Can Sweeney try fight back, being squeezed to the apex of the Ascari chicane? And, well, Kelly won't make the corner. When he rejoins, he could be in the path completely of Nathan Sweeney. And also Mardu in behind. As we go to the wobbly camera again. That's disappointment for Brandon Bartob, who disconnects as well from this. Mardu in 7th. That will be the latest send. That is a very late lunge to the inside. Kind of use your rival as a brake stuff there, as Kelly went for the move. He tried to get past Mardu, and it's very nearly the moment where we're 3 wide once again. Onto the iconic pit straight. Here at the Temple of Speed. We're seeing loads of speed being carried through loads of corners, which is resulting in cars going wide. And now, this is a battle that will definitely not be wide into turn 1. It'll get so close, they're going to pinch each other down into the braking zone. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Whoever will be the latest on the brakes. Didn't make the corner. Well, Kelly was the latest on the brakes. He didn't make the corner. Mardu did, and Mardu will get the momentum to try fight back and try fight with him through the Curva Grande. So let's see whether Mardu can do it. Trying to pull out, trying to draw out. Well, oh, we've got a battle and we've got a change for the lead. Rye moves up to the lead. Ben loses it. And was that an error? Was that a mistake? But it is going to promote Rye to P1 in the race. He is leading the opening round of the year with 17 minutes to go. So we're gonna get a very close battle at the front of the field. So disappointment for Brandon. He got a drive-through and he didn't know what that was, so he couldn't really. So he I think decided to, well, continue on. Wouldn't follow the rules in the pits. Billy Noble spins around. Well, I'm honestly, I can't even give you this thought. They're still going. They're still battling. As Mardu will try get through. He's to the inside. And does he move himself ahead? They're very nearly making contact again. Kelly's back in front. And Kelly's going to spin around. And Nathan Sweeney will say thank you very much. He moves up to 7th. Kelly will now try and recover after being a long part of this battle. I think everything's calmed down. No, never mind. Marcos is still pushing, completely pushing Roynton through. Maxim Chad is making his way back onto the circuit. Marcus is going to get a run now. And he'll try to look for the move. I'm trying to give you a thought, but all they're doing is going side by side. Which, I mean, I can't complain about, but this race has definitely turned into Dodgems, where, I mean, look in the background. You can, that is Noble trying to get through on Eskista, and he is getting such big defense on the straight. Onto the straight we go. Well, this will be a battle down towards the Retifilia chicane. You've got a battle for the lead going on at this stage. You've got Billy Noble moving up to 13th. Side by side for 11th. And let's see whether these two can keep it clean. I think that's now becoming the question. Can they keep it clean? They both send it at high speed. Marcus gets ahead. There'll be better traction of the corner for Roynton at this stage. And we're battling for the lead once again. Very nearly. As Ben tries to fight back. 3-car battle at the front of the field. Jaden gets ahead of Kenu as well, who I believe was over the road with the line that he's taking. That's the inference that we can make from that. The inference that the gap is basically nothing between these two tells us that there's about to be an overtake to the inside. The gap's extended. This was surely a mistake for Ben, or something's happened to him. There was a big mistake. The gap that was very nearly nothing at one point where we cut to the battle. Now is 1.4. Rye trying to pull away. Rovers in 15th at this stage. And he's spinning around. Battle for second place coming up. Mayonnaise, who is going to try and make the move. That was super late from Ben, under braking and trying to use the momentum, trying to take that wide line. Different lines being trialed by these drivers as we come over the line. Once again onto the iconic main straight here at Monza. The slipstream is being broken by Ben, your leader of this race earlier on. He's now got the attentions of Mayonnaise for this position. But yeah, what I was trying to say before all of the chaos really was taking place, where I couldn't even get a word in. I'm quite surprised, honestly. I really am surprised. I thought we had a lot of chaos in the test race. We had lots of chaos in the test race. I did not expect for this level of risk to be taken. I understand it's the opening round of the championship, but it is quite surprising, I have to say, that the drivers just basically said, okay, let's just send it all in and risk it all here on the opening round. You get two types of season openers, where it's just elbows out everywhere, or where you think about the championship and you know that you've been having test races and you know that you've got to be careful now. Because remember, this is now the championship. We've had loads of test races which you can spin out of, which you can crash out of. At the end of the day, it's fine. Today, things are being recorded. You are getting championship. You're going to get a championship result at the end of these 6 rounds. And at the end of the day, all of these drivers, the fastest ones, maybe even, won't be able to get the points they need to win that championship. Considering the chaos levels that we're getting, considering how everyone's sending it, you need to think about the championship, especially when others around you aren't thinking about the championship. That is something to be considered for these drivers. Yet it was dodgems at nearly every single battle that we had, and I mean it continues, as you can see. We have 2 cars round. That was Marcus and Billy Noble, I believe. They went round, and yeah, just to finish up on this fight, I'm really confused. I'm really confused with the risk levels and the approach the drivers have taken. Which, of course, I mean, in motorsport you can't predict anything. But I did kind of predict that, well, they've had test races, they've had chaotic races. It can't get any worse. They know they have a championship on the line. They know every point now matters and points are recorded now. Yet, caution was thrown to the wind. Dive bomb left, right and centre. And I'd say the most chaotic ACSL race, probably other than the Legends Ford that I've been able to cover, which the Legends Ford had its reason why it was chaotic, but yeah, I didn't expect that level. I expected it to be one of the calmer races, but one of the exciting ones. But remember, there is talented drivers in this field. There are amazing drivers in this field that will deliver us action in the 11 minutes and 30 seconds that we have to go. Hopefully these two are some of them as they go wheel to wheel down into turn number 1. They're battling for second place, and it's Ben who has got the position for the moment, but he did not get the best exit. Mayonnaise is going to try and get his foot down. He will try and go side by side, and they bang, and they're going door to door, banging doors as they make their way through the Curva Grande, heading down to the second chicane. Who will be the driver in second place when we get on the brakes? Rise, your leader. Who is going to be behind in second? Wait for your answer in a few moments. They're both going to be laid on the brakes. They make contact, and Mayonnaise spins around. And that's another battle that will end in tears. Dennis Pepen will say thank you very much, and he'll move up to 3rd position. We're battling for 10th. That is Kelly. And you've also got Roynton in 11th. Here's Mardu, as Nathan Sweeney's all over the road in the background, and he's off. Well, I guess this does leave us quite speechless, to be fair, in terms of, well, I guess I'm just surprised. I'm a little bit shocked. I knew it was going to be chaos. I knew turn 1, lap 1's going to be chaos. But I think the dive bombing every corner got a little bit out of hand for certain drivers. But at the end of the day, they were all doing it, and they were all ruining their races and each other's races. So Marcus moves up to 12. But yeah, I think especially when you consider everything that's gone into it. When you consider that we can't use fast cars because of people can't control them, and you're getting the chaos that you would have seen in Australia. And then we come here and we're getting even worse. To be fair, with certain driving standards. To be fair, where every corner basically, wherever there's a gap, people are sending it. Billy Noble, a great driver, I have to say, and I'm not just saying that because he didn't send it, Ascari, but I mean he's shown pretty much across different races that he has been good with his driving. So let's see if he can prove it once again. But now the race will start to settle in. I mean, every race is going to settle in at some point, especially if they've hit each other out non-stop throughout this one. I think definitely a discussion will have to go into driving standards again. Every round can't be like this where we're seeing just basically all of that stuff. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Of course, do join our Discord server to know any updates. Other than that though, I have to say, I think, yeah, as I mentioned, we do critique these drivers quite a bit at times. But at the end of the day, not every one of them is driving that way. I think we also need to mention there are some drivers who are driving clean, driving fair, who are putting in the practice to make sure they aren't coming in to this event without any practice and then a risk of them ruining other people's races. They aren't doing that. They're driving fairly. And they're considering that they have a 30-minute race and they don't need to win it when there's 29 minutes to go. Dantis Papen will try recover. He'll try go all the way around the outside as they make their way through. So Dantis Papen will try and go for this second position as we continue some of the racing. And yeah, on a day where we've had a lot of chaotic racing, let's now get to some of the good ones, and let's get to some clean action. Ben is going to try defend. He had to do this exact task. I'm nearly losing my voice, and that's not probably that's not even the best, considering that I've got an Assetto. Well, I've got an Assetto Corsa race to call tomorrow, and I've also got the Rolex 24s, which I'm spending a few hours on, probably maybe even doing an all-nighter. Wish me luck tomorrow. On which it's not my first time doing the all-night. I've done it a few times, but you know, it's always pretty intense if you can't just sleep as soon as the all-night is over. Daytona goes on all the way till about 6 for us in the UK. Oh, that will be the change for second place. Dantis Papen goes through. There was some visual glitches happening on our screen. Unsure if the drivers were facing the exact same to this part of the circuit, but for us it was some of well, Ben just glitching all over the place, so that allowed Dantis Papen through. So he's up to second place. Kenu and Jaden are having a battle as well. That's for 5th and 6th at this stage. Well, do let us know your thoughts on this race so far and your general opinions on what we've seen, as we look to end the opening round of the season on a high. Through Lismo 1. Billy Noble's lost a place, and through goes Marcos. But we are ticking down and ending what will, well, hopefully be the most chaotic race of the season. In terms of, I mean, we all love a bit of chaos, but I think if we got to this level of chaos again, then it would get to a point where we're not getting racing. I think we want to see more pure racing. I want to see brilliant battles where it's just side by side, but giving racing room and not just dive bombing at every corner. I think that's the main thing. I love a late descent. I'm personally, I love a bit of chaos. I don't think it's a race without a bit of chaos, but you know, it does get to a point where it's a bit like, really. And to be fair, I actually thought about that. It's not often I think about that we've had just too much chaos, because to be fair, I'll be honest, when Formula Regional was tested in Macau last year, I found that ridiculous in qualifying. What was it? 7 red flags? 7 red flags in a session, in one qualifying session, was outrageous. it basically was a bit of a lottery of who could get the time in, and you'd be on pole. And the session lasted, was it a few hours? Which was unheard of stuff, and the reason for that was, of course, well, the Formula Regional cars caused a lot of chaos, but of course you had younger drivers, you had less experienced drivers compared to the Formula 2 and Formula 3 level you had in the past around the circuit, meaning that there was a lot of chaos on it in terms of that race, in terms of that weekend. Of course, I referenced qualifying. But other than that, I really don't usually think that there's too much chaos. Maybe that occasional race on F124 that I might commentate on. I may think that was over the top. But yeah. That was my real life example of that. As we battle for 5th position, Kenny will go over the road. But yeah, back onto this. You have some drivers delivering us with some good racing at the end. Let's put our focus back to this. But yeah, I don't personally think I really get to say that, okay, that was a bit over the top too much. As I mentioned, I might occasionally say that on an F124 race. Or, well, as I mentioned, my last real life example was that Formula Regional Macau qualifying session, qualifying 2. The one on the Friday. And now I've got a lot of talking to do at the Rolex 24 Hours. Cannot wait for that. But, yeah, I have to say, thank you to those drivers who do put in the practice, who do come in prepared and ready to give us a good show, week in, week out, as well. And the ones who are patient and only go for moves when they're on. I mean, if it's the last corner on the last lap, like you saw last time, you sometimes have to send it. I mean, you aren't really a racing driver if you're not going to have a look and go for a move right at the end of the race. I mean, it's as simple as that. At the end of the day, that win could make or break your season. And winning is just completely different on another level compared to getting a second, third, fourth. That might even feel equal to a driver. It's just that first. It's another level. It is quite wild. Talking about wild, Dandis Pen spins around, and that will be Maynard's very nearly getting collected. Oh no, he's going to be into the path of Jaden, and Jaden's going to be hit. Kenu will be all over the road as well, and well, now we'll battle. Now we'll do battle. You've got Dover's off as well. Oh, he's not got fuel anymore, so he's coming to a halt, side by side for 4th. And it's going to be tight. Can Dandis Pen defend this? Jaden to the inside, he'll try to get through. Dandis Pen will be all over the road. And my word, is that some momentum from Kenny. Did he cut that corner? What happened there? Did he go over the road? Because he had such big momentum, and he got ahead. Outrageous stuff. Spapen sending it to the inside, and he will be in 5th. I'm not on the official feed. For the Rolex 24. Just doing a few hours on radio coverage, really. Okay, through the Ascari chicane. Well, we're ticking down. We are ticking down, guys. This is going to be the final lap for Rye, as the battle for 4th will go on. That will get our attention at the end of this race. So, just as a reminder, Rovers has run out of fuel. Kelly is dropping down our order. We're battling. It's a mega battle. It's a mega scrap. Round the outside, attempting to go is Jaden. Can he make this move? Side by side, onto the iconic pit straight, as we're about to go onto the final lap for these drivers. And they will remain wheel to wheel down the start finish straight. Here we go. This is going to be tight stuff. Well, we're on the final lap. Rye is making his way through, and Rye is making his way on to win. But who is going to be getting that 4th position? Critical points in the championship. Jaden's getting there for the moment. If these two aren't careful, there could be some takers. And that was all over the road for Kenny in the background. And in the very similar livery, Margie will try and also fight up against that. Rye is right now making his way through towards the end of this lap. Billy Noble is out of the race. It's all happening at the end. Spapen, can he fight a way through? Can he go the long way around in what has definitely been a wild race? They will throw it down to the second chicane. That is so tight between these two. Over the road once again. Kenu's going to use extra momentum. I think he did it last time. Now I'm 100% sure he did it this time. And off the road, Dennis Papen is going to be hit out, and he's going to lose so many places. He's off once again. He's down to 8th. That is unbelievable stuff. And more contact at the end. Well, we're going to end this race the way we started it, with wild racing all the way through. Can Kenny do anything to try get into 4th? Can Mardu try and take 6th away from Nathan Sweetie? It is all happening at the end. We'll check up with which positions these guys finish in a second. But on a day where loads have lost their head and lots of chaos has come our way, Rai is making his way, very nearly losing the car, but he is for sure making his way to the checkered flag to take victory in our opening race. He's a driver who showed pace and potential in the test races. Now the real season's got underway, and as the real season has got underway, he is going to start it with a championship lead and race victory here in round 1 at Monza. Rai crosses the line to win the opening round of the season. Ben will take 2nd, a driver who led parts of this race. Mayonertz in 3rd. Kenu is battling with Jaden. Jaden's all over the road. It is going to be a wild photo finish here. Who's going to get it? It's going to be our pulse hitter, Marju, who will finish in 4th position as he comes over the line. Sweeney, then Kenu, then Jaden, Spapen in 8th, and then you're going to get, well, Sweeney and Kenu battling all the way to the end, and, well, ending the race with, well, the race is over, but they end it crashing each other right out. Goose, Marcos, Ronnie 10, Eskista, and you have Maxime Chat as well. There will be loads of drivers who will be absolutely furious. There will be loads of drivers that will be absolutely furious. I'm absolutely sure of that. Well, goodness me, was that quite chaotic. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get to a territory where discussions are had. We had loads of discussions after previous races. Now the official season started, and I think, yeah, it's not ideal what we saw today. Driving standards definitely have to be worked on. I think the Legends Ford race, I could understand why that was chaotic, and at the end of it, we got a good result with drivers getting ratings, and we saw who was quick, who had the talent, who was clean, who could possibly be issues. I was fine with that. I was fine with that being chaos. I mean, you would expect it. I mean, it was one of those test races you would absolutely expect for cars to just be hitting each other left, right, dive bombing everywhere. It's meant to be one of those wacky races. Now we've got a proper season underway. We had a huge discussion about which car to pick. And loads of cars got rejected, of course. There were lots of good cars available, but the question is, they're too fast, and drivers, well, struggle driving them, as we saw, of course, in the 2005 race that we had in Australia. So we've gone to slower cars, and we've had, I'd say, in my opinion, I'd say the most chaotic race in a bad way that I've covered. As I mentioned, I like chaos. I personally love chaos. It's just the way I like a bit of chaos, but as I mentioned, it was over the top, and I don't often really say that. So we're also being told in the live chat, which, to be fair, I didn't really, well, I of course I noticed it at the end, but I didn't really notice that loads of drivers were cutting corners. About half of the people. I didn't realize half of the people were, but of course I was only looking when they were side by side. That's when I was mostly watching, but it looks like there was more issues as well that I didn't even notice. Which, of course, I noticed near the end that yes, there was a driver who possibly cut a few corners to gain some advantages, but it was getting a little bit wild, I'd say, and not in the good way. And But I'm gonna quickly take a look at what's happening in the Discord chat to see what the driver thoughts are on this. So I'll. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna quickly go through and see if there's anything interesting I can tell you. Yeah, loads of furious drivers. Well, I mean, what I can tell you is it is really chaotic in that chat. Right. There is heated arguments going on. I'm just currently waiting, guys. I'm just currently waiting, of course, in case there's anything interesting said. I'll take you back onto the normal screen. Hold on, I think we'll... Yeah, I'll just quickly put it back on the normal screen. I'll just reduce the volume, guys, so you are able to hear me. But yeah, I'm just gonna quickly... Well, you can give me your final thoughts in the live chat, of course. But I'm just gonna quickly check everything and make sure everything is nice and good. Okay. Yeah, just reviewing and looking at stuff, looking through stuff. Heated is the only word I can say, is the Discord. I, well, wouldn't be surprised, as I said, if there isn't another conversation about this. Because, I mean, really, there's nothing else the league can pretty much do. Other than now just start dishing out the highest level of penalties and, you know. Which, of course, at the end of the day, we want to decide it on the road. So that's still not even an ideal circumstance. We want drivers to be able to battle on the circuit. We've given them a low-level car. I'm sure loads of the talented drivers, I'm sure, want to be driving something quicker. I've driven loads of good cars as well. Which I know loads of drivers like as well, the fast ones. But then you can't have it because, even I agree, you can't have that when the driving standards are like this, where you know what's going to happen. But when you give them this level and it's still so on the edge, which in my opinion, as I said, I believe this was worse than the 2005 F1 Australia race somehow. Do let me know your thoughts as well in the chat. I of course, you guys were watching as well. Some of you were drivers. Do let us know. Do let us know what you made of that race, or if I maybe just had high expectations or something. But yeah, of course, a commentator comes into it with a little thought about what could happen but that's just the thing. I had expectations that, yeah, it was going to be a bit aggressive probably, but at the end of the day, I loved the start of the F2 2022 championship. But if you look at it, there were people just going wild, but in a good way at least, where they weren't hitting and they were sending dive bombs, which were working, and everything was going to plan until there was an initial contact. But I mean, that's just Formula 2 for you. But you know, it's more of that. Julius agrees with me. Faster cars are fun, but even more chaos alive. Exactly. I was really looking forward to the F1 2005 race in Australia, but it was just far too chaotic anyway. And the drivers have to be, I think, you need experienced drivers who are going to be, yeah, you need experienced drivers that can handle that machinery and do put in the practice as well at different types of circuits. But it was just stuff like the 4 wide that we had towards the Parabolica and the start of the race. And to be fair, let me just say, I think the camera angles were so bad on the opening lap that we didn't really even get to know what happened. But literally, all I could see in the background was cars spinning left, right, and center. So it was not ideal. And then, of course, we saw what happened in the rest of the race. But yeah, do let me know the rest of your thoughts. I'm also gonna get the calendar up as well as we get this analysis. Also, there's a fun race happening on Tuesday. I'll be broadcasting that as well. I do plan on broadcasting all the fun races as well. Should be updated. There you go. So you've got the fun races calendar there. So I'll be, well, there's a vote going on in the Discord, so make sure you join our Discord for that. But you have a vote going on for the fun races. That'll be broadcasted as well, don't worry. And I'll quickly now put the calendar on screen. Yep. Perfect. And there's your calendar for this category. So, for the main season. Julius says maybe it is an idea to make more championship different cars. There was, of course, that being discussed in terms of having an endurance style fun event or something. I think that was going around. I'm sure we'll get more news on that. But of course, if that was to happen, then I'm sure then what would also need to happen is the fast drivers need to be given the, well, I guess, let's say, LMP1 or the hypercar style car, and then lower it down continuously. But to be fair, different classes I think would be utterly chaos. Considering this level. Anis Ben says, good race, guys. Well, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. I'm just continuing to look in the Discord server to see. But yes, loads of corner cutting, lots of stuff on purpose, not what we want to see at all. Okay, well, I'd say, yeah, we've debriefed. If there's anything, of course, anyone else has to say in the chat, then do let us know. Julie's also saying he's going to start training on Hockenheim already. Lovely, lovely stuff. And that's exactly what we want, for the drivers to come into it prepared, and most likely then, not only will they do the best, but we'll actually have a good show to put on. So yeah, I'm sure a lot will go on, I would get Dan Dispapen on right now through Discord, so we're able to maybe get a word from him about, well, this in general, the new season and everything, and maybe a few thoughts on today and also the rounds ahead. Don't know if he would be in the mood for it though. That is the only thing. Because, well, he didn't have the easiest race either. But loads of discussions, loads of blaming to all sorts of other drivers. But yeah, I think we've made it pretty clear that we like a bit of chaos from time to time, but that was over the top, that was on the edge, and I would say some work does, well, loads of work, not some, loads of work needs to go on to the driving standards for some of these drivers, and hopefully we'll be able to provide you with a better contest in Hockenheim next time out, and of course in the fun race, which, to be fair, at the end of the day, that's a fun race. If we get to see some of this in the fun race, okay, fair enough. It is a fun race. It's called a fun race. A bit of, like for example, the Legends Ford race. While that wouldn't be acceptable in a season, in a fun race, if you have a fun race, I guess, should have more level of chaos than a normal race. It is a fun race at the end of the day. You should be getting a bit more fun in that and all of that stuff, but in this, I think people come here for competitive, high-level racing. And that's why we have the fun races. They can have a bit of fun in that, but this is the competitive season. This is where we get the proper racing going. And that is what we absolutely love about it. But not ideal. Not ideal today as well in terms of that. Well, just gonna check and finalize whether there's anything else I'd like to show you before we get going. I'm actually gonna quickly show you this clip. Well, to be fair, we're doing a bit more analysis for you today, aren't we? We're doing a bit more analysis for you. I'm gonna quickly show you guys a clip. So this is going to be a little bit of analysis for you. So we're taking a look at a clip. This is from Brandon Bartop. So if we run through, I'd say that's Billy Noble ahead. And looks like he just tagged Billy Noble down as we just take a look at that clip a couple of times. But yeah, loads of debate going on in everything, which I'm not surprised about. To be fair, if there is some information or if there's some stuff, I might actually come on air a little bit earlier next week. Considering I don't want to go off air today, which, I mean, I have to at some point. The racing's done. I'm surprised 7 of you are still here. I'm quite surprised some of you want to actually hear some of that post-race stuff. But yeah, I might come on air a little bit earlier next week. Considering I could, I mean, I could do 20 minutes. Who knows next week? We have practice session going on at the same time, so if there is a lot of talking points, I might just come on air a little bit early. But yes, I think it's best if we end it here and I stop wasting the voice and save it actually for the Rolex 24 hours where you need to do the waffling anyway. Well, I think that pretty much wraps it up. If there is any news and updates, then make sure you join the Discord server to keep an eye on all of that. There was a lot of chaos. There was lots of wild racing going on. And I think it's fair to say we hope for a bit of a cleaner contest. And today was not what we want when it's meant to be so competitive and when it's meant to be racing right on the edge and right on the limit at high speed. But we've got Hockenheim, another circuit that should deliver us action. I mean, Monza was going to deliver us action. It did deliver us action, but not in the full way of competitive racing. Hopefully Hockenheim will be able to offer that as well. Well, thank you very much for joining us. As I mentioned, fun race coming up. That is in a few days on Tuesday, so make sure you join us then. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you for round 2